Hey, 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 how's everybody doing this evening? It is good to be back. It's been a bit. It's been a little bit. You guys are probably like, where have you been? Well, I'll tell you where I've been. Uh, I've been busy, okay? I've been busy. I had my daughter's 5th birthday party. We had to make a big deal out of that, because you do. I remember my 5th birthday party, and we made a big deal out of that, so you just do that. And so we did, and we had a good time. And of course, been busy with the movie. Can't been busy with that. Post production is not easy. It's not. But been having a lot of fun with it though. Crazy times, crazy times. So, who do we got in the chat already? Thank you guys all for joining in. Christian Spencer, hi. And Joe from Fangoria Faithful. Hey Joe, how you doing? The Drain Sawyer, Jared's here. Hey Jared, how you doing tonight? How is everybody doing? And John from Behind the Fiends. Your mic has an echo. Sorry. Oh, I know why. I got 2 of these things on for some reason. Is that better now? My bad. Hoot hoot. Hey, CJ Vecchio is here as well. Michelle Blasky. Thank you guys all for joining it. Is my mic not echoing now? I had it on twice for some reason. What can you say? That's what happens when you don't do a show for a little while. It happens. But thank you guys all for tuning in. We're gonna have a fun little show tonight. It's gonna be very, very cool. Because we're gonna talk Texas Chainsaw Massacre indie fan films tonight. Should be a lot of fun. But good now. Yes, I I figured. I saw that. I'm like, oh, I got my mic on twice for some reason, and it's not perfect latency. Obviously, it's not perfectly in sync, and it's probably gonna sound weird, and it did. That's what happens when you don't double check stuff. As long as it's good now. Sorry about that. Sorry about the bad. And also, another reason why I might have some weird audio tonight is I can't seem to find my mic filter that goes on top of it. So you'll hear some pops every now and again, like you just heard there. It gets very poppy. Sorry, that was bad. I'm just being bad now. So I'll try my darndest to not be too poppy. But, I've got a 5-year-old daughter that probably took my pop filter, so I'll find it. I think I have like 3 or 4 of them around. I don't know why I can't find a single one, but this place is a bit of a disaster right now. Anyways, I'm getting off topic now, aren't I? I got some shout-outs to do. I always have my shout-outs, right? Got to do those. Michelle, I haven't seen Michelle for a while. I messaged her. Not Michelle Blasky, but Michelle Appollonia from Breathless Beauties. You've seen her awesome work before. She is awesome. Michelle Blasky is in the chat tonight, so we're going to plug her stuff. She's got a few things to plug. Her artwork, her obscure artwork for Ms. 44. Love it, love it, love it. And of course, she's got an Indiegogo campaign for the 3rd channel, everybody. The 3rd channel is still going. I believe they're trying to reach about 10% of their goal. Within, I don't know if that's the next goal there, Michelle. You got to keep me posted on that. What is the next goal? But yeah, they're raising funds to make an unofficial sequel to Halloween 3: Season of the Witch. So if you're a fan of Halloween 3: Season of the Witch, go check out her Indiegogo. Links are in the description, as well as the links for Ms. 44 and, of course, for Breathless Beauties as well. But go support indie fan films. That's kind of what this whole live chat discussion is going to be about today. But we're focusing on Chainsaw. But, I'm a big fan of Halloween 3. I know that it's got a mixed following. People seem to either love it or hate it. But I support this, because, hey, we have hardly any Halloween 3 fan films out there, and this is just a great idea. It's a great idea, great script. I've read the script. I'm a producer on it. Michelle's got a fantastic idea and a great team behind her as well, so I think this is a good project to support. So go on to Indiegogo and support this project. There you go. There's my plug. Plug for Michelle. Morgan Wellborn just joined the chat. Hello, Morgan. How are you doing? Hope you're having a great evening. Hope all is well. I also do have to plug, since we got Joe in the chat, Joe has done some amazing work as of late. He just made my film company a cool logo. And by the way, Joe, our editor who's editing the film, did animated versions for like all the different company logos, and he did 2 for me. I'll show you the one he's putting in the film though. It's pretty cool. I don't have any music for anything yet though, but Sequanda Films. Pretty cool little animated thing for the logo that Joe did for us. Thank you, Joe, for doing that really cool logo. I wish I could have got it into the into the teaser on time. I still have the old logo in that. We put the teaser up before I got the logo, unfortunately. So unfortunately, it'll have to wait for the main trailer that we do, and we are going to do a main trailer for the Sawyer Massacre. Everybody, we are going to do a longer trailer, like a 2-minute type of trailer, but that'll be more like a month before the film is released. Yeah, so you'll get a teaser on Sunday though. Teaser is coming on Sunday, and Joe also revamped our poster. He did, just because we had the old house from the Canadian house that we shot at in Canada from the other teaser trailer in it, and we switched out for the house that we actually shot. One of the houses that we shot at, the creepiest looking house, basically. So we put that in the poster. So there's a new poster. He also added credits. So you get to, if you can read that, if you can read the credits, like they say at the beginning of Spaceballs, if you can read this, you don't need glasses. Yes, you don't need glasses if you can read that. I can't read that. It is small, but if you really zoom in, I'm sure you can read it on a big poster. If people get the 24 by 36 posters, and a few people have got them, I don't know how well you could read it on 11 by 17. We've got 2 poster sizes that are going to be available, 24 by 36 and 11 by 17. So, yeah. And you can also get this guy here too, this poster that I did. I know the camera's not fully at it, but you get a choice of whichever poster you want. And they'll both be on the campaign. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I needed to talk about. I think Indiegogo post-production, Indiegogo campaign, and teaser trailer all coming Sunday, 10 a.m. The link is in the description for the teaser trailer. Make sure you go check out the teaser trailer when it goes live, 10 a.m. The first official trailer you're gonna get of the Sawyer Massacre. All new footage that you're going to see. You're not going to see anything from the old teasers at all. Although you'll see some similar scenes and stuff like that. Some of the similar stuff will play out. But yeah, this is essentially all new. Brand new campaign just for post-production. Post-production and the premiere, basically. So you can buy premiere tickets if you want to come down to Austin, Texas to watch the premiere. And I think we are actually pretty close on setting a date for the premiere, as well as I think we've got our venue. Hey, John from Doomsday Crypt is in the chat now too. Sorry, I'm ignoring the chat. I do that sometimes when I just get jabbering on. You know me. I do that sometimes. And hey, look, it's Sledgehammer Horror. I haven't seen you for a while, Ken. Glad you could say hi. Glad you could make it. Make sure to check out our trailer on Sunday. Our first official teaser trailer, that is. We shot in Texas. Everybody. Will it be good? I am always self-conscious when I make these teaser trailers and trailers, whatever. I always think, well, is it good enough? Am I getting redundant? And when the response always comes back positive, I'm like, okay, I guess I did okay. I guess that's the one thing. I don't really like to edit, which is probably why I do this show live, because if I did pre-recorded shows, I'd have to edit, which I don't want to do. But for some reason, I'm good at editing trailers. I did one cut of a trailer with the footage we had with some of the... I just chose a bunch of clips. Let's go this with this, blah, 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 and see if we can edit something cool with this. And I did, and the main editor, who was our DP, actually, who's going to edit the whole film, did that lovely logo that I showed you. He took one pass and said, looks great, except the color correction. I'm like, well, I'm not coloring it. So I'm like, you're coloring it, but I think it looks good. I love it, except for the color. Sure needs color correction. Of course it did. And then our buddy Kyle did the sound design on it. This is the first time I didn't have to do sound design on it. I just kind of put the tracks in for him, sent him the stems, and he went to town with it. And I think he's definitely more of a skilled sound designer than I am. I'll say that. I'm one of those guys that, watch YouTube and learn a few things here and there. And it doesn't sound too bad, but he actually went to school for it. So having somebody who actually really knows what they're doing makes it sound just that much better, which I think is important. Color correction is so time consuming. Yes, it is, man. And I'm so bad at it. I don't do color correction. I'm like, every time I try to do it, I get so many people blasting it. I'm like, what's with your color? Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no clue what I'm doing, but it has to be done. So it's definitely one of those things that I've come to admit that I just don't have a skill for. I could get maybe pretty decent with sound design over time. I'm at that point where I'm decent enough. It's passable. My other trailers were me doing the sound, so it's definitely passable, but yeah, color correction is definitely not something I'm good at. Nope. Anyways, jabbering on a little much now. Let's get to it. Let's talk TCM fan films, Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films. Before we get into the upcoming ones, I want to talk about one I actually read the script for recently. I won't talk too much about it. I won't mention any names or anything like that, but I was excited to read it, and it was, I saw so much potential in this script, and ultimately, it was just very unoriginal. So, I mean, I hope when it comes to these other Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films, I hope we can see some originality. This one, the one I read, took place in the 90s, and I thought, okay, cool. I'm digging the 90s vibe. I think there's a lot of cool stuff that happened in the 90s that you could reflect on, and essentially the only thing that reminded me of the 90s was the music that you put in there, and that seems to be a very common cop-out for time period movies these days. You want to set in the 80s? We'll have Take On Me by A-ha playing, and then a lot of these movies, they do it like so much, that they rely on the music to make you think it's that time period, when that bugs me. That bugs me, because it's not just music, and it's so obvious that they're trying too hard to sell you with the music, Don't get me wrong, I love 90s tunes. I grew up, like I said, that was when I learned to play guitar, 97. That was the year that my favorite band, Soundgarden, got their poster on the wall. That was the year they broke up. You could have done a lot of reflections on that. But yeah, I mean, it's one thing to put songs from the 90s in there, but make me feel like it's the 90s. Reflect on some of the current events that were happening. That's what Texas Chainsaw Massacre was really about, was reflection on all the social climate and terrible things that were happening in the world at that time. And I think there are some big things in the 90s that you could really easily tap into. I mean, there's things in pretty much every decade that you can tap into. So I was just really interested to see what he would have done with a 90s version. And it was almost beat for beat the original. Like almost beat for it opens up, has a much different opening, but then it gets into, okay, it's a group of people that it's not the same group of teenagers, but there's a group of people and they're going to visit their grandfather's grave because there was a grave robbing, and then they pick up a hitchhiker, and then they go to the gas station, and then they go to their grandparents' house, and then it was beat for beat. It never veered off that course, and I think that was the thing that really bothered me about reading that script. And I think I got to the gas station point where I actually reached out to the guy who wrote the script and said to him, hey, is this gonna veer off course from the original at all? And yes, there were subtle differences, but ultimately, I feel like I just read a reimagining of the original movie. And it's too bad because I feel like there's a lot of potential, and hopefully there still is. Hopefully he took a lot of my critical notes and made him think to rework it a little bit, because there is potential. There are some decent characters in there. They are more three-dimensional. So it tells me this guy has potential as a screenwriter. And I saw one of his short films that he wrote the script for. He didn't direct it, but he wrote the script for it. So I see potential. I just, the originality is a little bit lacking. He needs to think a little bit more original. So with that being said, I just really hope that we can get that from a lot of these other fan films that are coming out. I think one of them is in the audience. CJ Vecchio is working on a fan film, although yours is a little bit different. We'll definitely talk about it. Since you're here, since you're in the chat now, and we might lose you, and if you feel like chatting about it at all, you can. And I'll go on record and say right away, I'm not the biggest fan of these types of movies. If I'm being honest, I'm still intrigued. But this is so CJ, you're doing the Evil 3. I'm just not a big fan of shared universe type movies. It's just never been my thing. I never liked Freddy versus Jason, Alien versus Predator. It's never been my thing. But at the same time, I'm interested to see how you would combine those three characters. I really hope at the end of the day that you're not going to just throw all three of those characters into a movie and that be that. So I'm sure you did. Just wait, he says. Yeah. So hopefully you can turn me around on those types of movies a bit. I do always see a little bit of potential in that. I mean, there are ways to do it. It sounds really tough though for this one. I'm really interested to see what you're gonna do, because these are characters that live in different areas of the U.S. and they're different types of characters. They're all very different from each other, really. I mean, Michael Myers and Jason are similar-ish. I'm going to say ish, whereas you can see them both as supernatural type characters. Although Michael Myers is like, the original intention of him wasn't really to be like that. But yeah, I'm intrigued. I know you probably can't say a lot. If you can say anything about it, feel free to say it in the chat. I'm curious. I know CJ, you said you're doing a Indiegogo in about 2 weeks, I think. I think you said 2 weeks. I'm trying to remember now. Confirm that for me. But go support it. I believe he's got some big names. I think he got some big names attached on the website. Oh, I have to go to the website. Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th of May. So basically 2 weeks. That's right. I forgot about that. I should have remembered that. Okay. Yes. Friday the 13th is the Indiegogo date. Can you tell us anything? Like, who do you got in that film, CJ? Oh, and Joshua Adams is also now in the chat. He's doing another one we're going to talk about in a bit. Sorry, I missed the beginning. Oh, don't worry. Never worry about the beginning, because I just kind of blabber on for about 15 minutes or so about this and that and this. I do some good shout outs to some good people, but sometimes I get blabbering and don't know how to stop. I apologize. I ramble a bit. I ramble more as I get older. See if CJ has any other info. I think I saw that there was somebody semi-famous attached, but I could be wrong on that. Talking with Brett Wagner right now. Well, actually, I think Joshua Adams has got Brett Wagner in his. I should have got him to be in my film. I tried to get a few people. I actually had Ed Neal attached. We had Ed Neal attached to play a character in the Sawyer Massacre, and we ended up losing him because his manager didn't tell me right off the bat that he was a SAG actor, and we couldn't do our film SAG. I couldn't believe that Ed Neal was SAG, but at the same time, I guess it makes sense. He's been in some stuff, so we kind of lost him last minute, and we had to scramble to find somebody else to play the character, but we did, and we're happy with who we got. And it all worked out good. Brett's a great dude. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. Brett Wagner could be in a few fan films. Those of you who don't know who Brett Wagner is, I'm sure some of you might not know who he is. He played Leatherface for the first kill. The very first kill in the remake. Yes. The very first kill. So Andrew Bernarski took over after that. He was the original person they hired for the role. I believe, and you can ask Brett on this, I believe it was heat exhaustion, though, that took him out of the movie. So I believe that was the case as far as I remember hearing. And I can imagine. I'm just looking at the costume for that Leatherface. This has always been one of my biggest issues with the remake. Is the costume just seems a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, heat. Too hot for Leatherface. Nothing's too hot for Leatherface, though, right? Well, it was too hot for the actor that played him. But yeah, I mean, Brett seems like a great guy. I never met him, but I did see him a little bit on John from Doomsday's Crypt. His live stream that he did a couple weeks back, and now a week or a week and a half back, somewhere in there, you had him on. So that was pretty cool. But anyways, is there anything else, CJ, that you can tell us about the Evil 3? Is it going to take place in a certain time period, certain continuity of any of the films, or is it separately its own entity, like nothing that you have ever... It's not attached to any films in any of those franchises. I'm interested to know that. I don't know if that's something you can say or not, or if everything has to be a complete surprise or not. Obviously I don't want you to spoil the film. I really don't. Can you tell us if it's short or feature? I'm going to guess feature. But, can you tell us anything? I just want to know something, as I really know nothing. Takes place now, okay, in Smith Grove. Smith Grove's being closed. Pretty cool. Will be a feature. Okay. Does it take place in Illinois then? Smith Grove is being closed. How do we get Leatherface in Illinois? Oh, I don't know. I gotta. There's ways. Of course, there's ways, but man. I'm interested to see how it all ties in together. Don't share too much, but okay, it's good to know. It takes place modern times. They're being transported to Livingston County Jail near Haddonfield. Okay, so this obviously takes place in Illinois. I'm guessing it's not going to take place in any of the, because I'm not the biggest Friday fan, guys, so bear with me. Crystal Lake was in like New York somewhere or something. I don't know. You'll have to, well, no, Jason Takes Manhattan was in New York, obviously. I'm probably way off on that. Where the hell is Crystal Lake supposed to be? You guys will have to tell me. I'm such a loser right now for not being able to know that. Like I said, I've never been the biggest Friday the 13th guy. New Jersey, close enough. Christian Spencer, thank you for telling me. New Jersey, New York, they're like neck and neck, right? I mean, I'm from the West Coast, so I've never been there, so how would I really know? But I've maybe seen enough stuff to know that. I don't know. I think Crystal Lake is somewhere in New Jersey. Okay, yeah. Close enough. New York, New Jersey, they're like right beside each other, right? But this will be in Illinois, not Texas, and not New Jersey. That's good to know. The new TCM reminded me of Jason. Yeah, the new, it felt like they're trying to turn Leatherface into Jason. But Leatherface is not Jason. In fact, he's probably the furthest from Jason than any, really, if I'm being honest. Okay. Well, so that's the Evil 3. What do you guys think? I'm not a big fan of these mixed universes, but, I haven't seen the right one yet, probably. The Evil 3, that's going to be directed. CJ, I imagine you're going to be directing it, or are you just writing it or producing it? Give us a little bit of feedback. Give us a little bit of info on that, if you don't mind, as well. Because I never know. I'm assuming that you're the writer-director. Maybe you're going to be in it to some degree, too. Both writer-director, there you go. Probably producer as well. Very exciting, very exciting. Again, we just need more fan films, and we need quality fan. I shouldn't say we need more fan films. We need quality fan films out there, and if we can keep putting out some quality, I'm going to be happy. There's just not enough quality Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films. I know this is CJ's is kind of only partially Texas Chainsaw Massacre, especially since it doesn't take place in Texas anywhere. But hey, I'm a pretty big Michael Myers fan too. So, interested to see how that will definitely play out for sure. Very, very interested. And because, guys, there are Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films on YouTube. Most of them aren't very good. Some of them have some quality filming behind it, but not the best writing. And really, there's only one on YouTube right now that I personally like, that feels like the original, that feels gritty, and it was made for like nothing, and that was Justin Sands, I forget what it's called, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Last Roundup Roll and Grill, and that was it's not even a feature film. It's only about 25 to 30 minutes, but it captured the feel of the original. There's a lot of authenticity in it. And, that's what you don't get you don't make features with no money. And if you do, it's not going to be good quality. That's a fact. No matter how good you are, you're not going to make a feature length film with no money and have good quality. Unless you got a lot of resources at your disposal. And like every resource. Because, resources kind of bit me in the ass when filming the Sawyer Massacre. Not being from Texas and trying to make all these connections and get free this and free that and free that and free this. And, it was tough. We did pretty good, but it was tough. It was tough. So what do you guys think? Last Roundup Roll and Grill. That's the only one I've seen that I can say I really like that one. I would love to see what Justin could do if he had a budget. If you don't have the budget, do an Indiegogo, guys. Do a crowdfunding campaign. Don't just do it. Do the research and everything that needs to be done to do it and be successful. It's tough. Like, doing Indiegogos is tough, and you just have to take it one step at a time. I'm still not even too sure how well my next Indiegogo is going to go. I'm going to have to push and push and push. and it takes a lot of pushing. You got to be really consistent. You got to put out new content every day and really push. But if you do it, you can get your budget. There you go. Which film should we talk about next? We got Josh in here, so let's talk about Josh's. That's Joshua Adams is doing a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film called The Grind. And I will say this: the poster art is awesome, and Joshua told me he did that himself. Very, very good work, Joshua. You have got skills. You got skills. I don't know if you went to school for any of that or nothing. I never went to school for any graphic design, and I'm not very good at it. But some people are. Some people don't go to school for it, and they just naturally have a gift for graphic design. And I guess you have to be somewhat computer techy or something like that. And maybe that's my biggest fault right there, is I'm not very computer techy. I got to have a guy like Joe that knows what the hell he's doing and made some cool shit for me. But really cool looking poster. I reached out to Joshua the other day to ask him a little bit about it. And I noticed you got sort of a remake inspired looking mask on the poster. So I kind of assumed that it was going to be in the continuity of the remake. And he said no, it is actually more in the continuity of the original. Which is cool. It's kind of you would never expect that kind of a mask for that, but why not? But you said that it's not exactly the remake. It was a remake mask, and you've kind of rehauled it a little bit. I would personally like to see a little bit more rehauling on it. Personally, I've never been the biggest fan of the remake mask. I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't know. I think it's never been my favorite mask. Drayton Sawyer mask looks good. It's never been my favorite mask. I mean, it's not my least favorite mask either. But you know, I do like the Kemper mask though. I did like that. I wish it was used more in that movie. But you know, I still like that one. I did. It was creepy looking. I don't know. What can we say about this one? I'm trying to remember what Justin told me about it. Sorry, I should have wrote notes somewhere. Justin, you told me, or Joshua, not Justin. Justin, I was thinking of Justin Sands, who did last round at Rolling Grill. I believe, though, Joshua, you said it's a sequel. I can't remember now. Joshua, did you say it was a sequel to the original? Or just sort of in line with the original? I think you said it was a sequel and it doesn't take place long after, if I remember correctly. Let me know. The mask is a Trick or Treat Studios 03 mask. I think that's what that. Oh, of course I get this stupid pop-up right now. I hate pop-ups. Trick or Treat is a Trick or Treat Studios 03 mask, and I've been modifying it to. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the 03 mask overall. Yeah, it's never been my favorite. We had custom masks done on our film. I just had we had 4 masks in our film. Maybe that was overkill. I don't know. But and looking at how they ended up being used, some of the things don't play out as well as I want them to, because I'm a huge advocate for Leatherface wears the faces of his victims to gain a personality. And there were reasons why we had him wear certain faces in our movie that we didn't quite execute the way I wanted, but that's okay. That's okay. I think you still got the gist of it in our film. That I don't know. We'll find out. There's a few things when we just, hey, time, money. It was not cheap, but where was I going with that? Yeah, we custom made all, which was super expensive. That was a big expense. And another thing I should bring up, I don't know if any of you noticed that the name of our SFX artist changed about 3 weeks before we began shooting, 3 weeks to a month before we began shooting, because the original SFX artist that we hired just bailed on us. She was kind of flaky for the last 6 months to a year. And I was like, when are we getting these life casting done and these molds done for the masks? And, it's like, oh, we'll get it done. Oh, we'll get it done. I'm like, do you have time? Do you want to back out? If you need to back out, that's fine. I just got to find another. I need to know now so I can find somebody else. And she's like, no, I've got it. No, I've got it. And then I got this long email less than a month before shooting. Yeah, I can't do it now. I'm not able to do it with my job and blah, blah, blah. And this is what I was asking you months ago. Can you do it or not? And I had to find somebody else. So we found a guy on short notice. We got these masks made within 3 weeks. That was not easy. But, maybe they didn't turn out quite as awesome as I wanted to. But with only 3 weeks to make 3 silicone masks, well, they came out pretty darn good considering. They still look creepy, that's for sure. But, I'm picky. Since we're talking about masks, I know I'm getting off of Joshua's film a little bit. But yeah, let me ask you this, Josh. Do you plan on using more than one mask? Or is it just going to be that same mask for the whole movie? It's set not long before the first film. Okay, not long before the first film. The mask represents different personalities of the character. Okay, that's good. There will be more than just the one mask in our film, too. At least 2 or 3. That's awesome. That's what I like to hear. That's kind of important to me a little bit because it seems to be kind of missed in a lot of the Hollywood films, that aspect of Leatherface. He wears these masks to gain a personality, because without them, he doesn't have a personality. So I don't know. I'm yet to really see a Hollywood film do that. So I'm glad that excites me a little bit more for your film, Joshua. I think that's important. Oh, CJ, that happened with my makeup person on my last film. Yeah, you just never know when people are going to flake on you. I was smart as I was already networking with other Texas SFX artists and made this connection. And because I had a feeling she was going to bail on me last second. I spoke to Sergio, who did it. Like, you think you could fill in on a short notice just in case? I mean, I don't want to tell her she's fired, but I'm still needing these life casts done. And I'm sure she could do capable work. Although, I mean, she was quoting me really low prices for these, and which was kind of the reason why I hired her in the first place, because she was like going to do them at really at the cost for her probably. And, Sergio couldn't do it for those prices. That was the unfortunate thing. And I even based my prices for those screen use masks based on her prices that she gave me. Made it tough. Always try to have a plan B lined up. Yeah, that's luckily I had a plan B. Yeah, because that can happen. Yeah. Anyways, Joshua Adams, I feel where the sequels missed. I feel that's where the sequels missed. Yeah, my goal is to make this Leatherface as close as we can to Gunner's portrayal and how Toby and Kim intended it to be. That's awesome. That's good to hear. You hear that, guys? You hear that, Chainsaw fans? Get behind this. I think this is going to be really cool. And you do have Brett Wagner going to be in your film. I'm not sure I can't remember if there was anybody else notable that is attached to your film. If so, feel free to mention them. And I believe you're going to do an Indiegogo as well. Am I correct? I think so. I'm not sure. I think it's not for a little bit, but that's awesome. Yes, I'm friends with Amy on Facebook as well. Yes, she's going to be in Josh's film. She's going to be in your film as well too, CJ. Should have got her in my film. Let me ask you guys this: both CJ and Joshua, where are you planning on filming them? Are you going to be forced to film them wherever you guys live, or are you going to try to go to Texas like I did, which was tough? which, I'm not going to lie. There's a part of me that was like, maybe I should have just shot it in my own backyard here in Canada. But it just wouldn't have been right. Chicago for CJ. I'm not sure where Josh is from. Have no idea. We'll see if he can tell us. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to, but I am interested. Chicago Burbs. Well, yeah, it makes sense for CJ because he's shooting in Illinois, because he's basing his in Illinois. Yes, that's correct. We were planning to get the campaign rolling in the next couple of weeks, and we'll be shooting in Tennessee. We're gonna have a couple different. We're gonna have a few Texas Chainsaw Massacre Indiegogo campaigns going on. I got mine starting on Sunday, so there you go. At least a few Texas Chainsaw Massacre Indiegogo campaigns coming up, guys. So that's pretty cool. Very, very excited to see where guys help these. I'm gonna share their Indiegogo campaigns as I do more live streams. I'm gonna try to get both of you guys on the show, on this show at some point as guests. We'll see if we can coordinate that, and I think you guys can give us more insight to everything, not just this film, but to your background and all that kind of stuff. Give you a good chance to really plug it. But yeah, I'm stoked about these fan films. Me too, man. It's like we need more, and it sounds like you guys are quality filmmakers, and I think that's an important thing. Is I think we've seen too many amateur filmmakers make Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it maybe it's put a bad taste in people's mouths when they go on YouTube and look up a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film, and they see this one that looks like it was made on a iPhone, on the first iPhone or something like that, and it has no sound capture whatsoever. You're getting like a Canon camera audio sort of thing. It's it's important to have good visuals and good audio and DPs that know what the heck they're doing. Understand framing, because man, I've seen some very poorly framed fan films on YouTube. It's like, ugh. There's some there, but it's like, again, go check out Justin's film. It's the best one I've seen so far. I know there's a lot of people like that Sally's Escape from Hell and Gasoline, made by the same guy. Again, not seeing the originality. I don't like them. They're not for me. They're too. For me, they're too gore. They're too focused on the gore. For me, Gasoline definitely was. It was almost like this was a movie made by SFX artists. And there's nothing wrong with some gore, but the original was not gory at all. Really, it really wasn't. So there's some gore in my movie. There's not a ton. I think I was pretty subtle. There's some moments. Hey, Rob Mahoney's in the chat. Hey, Rob, how you doing? We're chatting Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films. We've got a few coming up. Hopefully, I'm hoping you guys are gonna be released by early next year or so. We'll see. There's a couple others I do want to talk about as well. Thank you for joining the Rob. Rob is an awesome horror promoter. He, if any of you guys want good promotions from a good guy, Rob's your guy. Terror81 Promotions is his Facebook page. I don't know if you have that on Instagram or Twitter or anything else like that, but I know the Facebook page. He was a great supporter of the Sawyer Massacre, and we couldn't have got the Sawyer Massacre funded without guys like Rob and Jimmy Presley and Amy Crabtree. Those are my guys. Those guys really promoted the heck out of this thing. So, gotta give them props. Gotta have good promoters, that's for sure. One bit of good advice when you're doing a crowdfunding campaign: have good promoters. So I started doing it without promoters, and it was tough. It was like barely raising, and then I get some guys like like Rob reached out, and it's like, okay, now we've got a team, and it started rolling the right way. Anyways, enough about that. Let's get on to. Is there anything else we should? Joshua, is there anything else you want to say about the grind? Look, again, really awesome poster. Takes place roughly a little bit before the original. Again, check out this poster. I gotta say that this is a pretty cool poster. I think so. Yeah. Anyways, kind of lost my train of thought there. There you go. The next one we want to talk about. Now, this one sounds like it's going to be put on hold. I'm friends with the guy on Facebook, and that's TCM, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Requiem. I believe this one is also meant to be set in modern times as well. This is brought to you by a guy by the name of Dave Brown. Not sure if he's in the chat. I know he saw my post about this. I am friends with him on Facebook. I reached out to him the other day to see where he's at, because he was kind of promoting it fairly heavily a few months back, and then all of a sudden he kind of stopped. And I asked him, like, are you still going through this? I want to see you go through with it. And he told me, and you guys can tell me as well, both CJ and Joshua, he kind of decided to put it on hold because he had a hard time building a following for it. So he's decided to go ahead and concentrate on a Friday the 13th fan film instead, because Friday the 13th fan films have way bigger following than Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And he's got a point. However, I mean, part of me is like, it's the fan films are so saturated with Friday the 13th right now. I don't know. I just want, I personally want to see more Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films rather than Friday the 13th. We've got so many, and maybe that's partially because I'm not a huge Friday the 13th fan. It's not my series. It's never been my series. I've never been a big Jason fan. My favorite Friday the 13th is the first one, where you only get Jason at the very end, the classic jump scare out of the water. So, I mean, maybe that's part of it, but, there's also a lot of Halloween fan films as well. And I am a Halloween fan. I'm a fan of the first 4 movies, and there's a lot of good ideas for Halloween fan films, and there's a lot of not so good ideas for Halloween fan films, but it is definitely another franchise that is being a little bit saturated with fan films. There's a lot of them, and there's a lot of stuff happening with Halloween fan films that Rob can, vouch for. There's a certain Halloween fan film that, a lot of us put some faith in that, we'll leave it at that, because I don't want to get caught in the drama, but to say that I'm a little bit mad at myself for not being a little bit more vocal of my thoughts. Anyways, but at the same time, there's still lots of good potential for Halloween fan films. But again, what I've seen, there's just so many. I don't know what to say about that, because I think that you can make some good Halloween fan films, but most of the ones I've seen have not been the best. We'll say that. There's been some good ones, there's been some good ones. So, I mean, I can't totally knock it. And maybe a lot of them just aren't made for me. Like Braden Timmons made the Haddonfield Nightmare. It was pretty well done. It wasn't really for me though, because I'm not a big H2O fan. Because he made his as a sequel to H2O. And I just don't really like H2O. So if I was a fan of H2O, then I probably would have liked it more. But that's why I really like Michelle's idea with the third channel, because I love Halloween 3. I love it. So I'm totally behind it. Anyways. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. No drama. Yeah, oh man. It seems like it's very tough to avoid drama these days. I'm doing my absolute best, though. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to talk about what's been going on lately, but man, oh man. I am just, leave me out of it. And I've been tagged in posts, and I'm like, don't tag me in posts about this. Not about this. Don't tag me in it. Please. I don't want to know about the drama. I don't want to know anymore. I'm so sick of it. I am. I'm serious. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm not going to take sides. I'm going to say this. There are some bad people, unfortunately, in the indie world, and maybe there's some people with good intentions, but don't know what the fuck they're doing sometimes. Just going to say that. And people need to realize that some people don't know what the hell they're doing. Some people need to realize that. Just saying. Okay, where was I going with this? I totally lost my train of thought. It's one of those nights, guys. It's one of those nights. Oh, but yeah, we were talking about Texas Chainsaw Massacre Requiem. Now, as far as what I know about this one, it takes place in modern days, kind of like CJ's, but it's all Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So I guess it's kind of in the vein of the new one a little bit. It's meant to be like a direct sequel to the original. But that's pretty much as I know about it. I know he made a mask for it too. I couldn't find any images for it. I know he's got some somewhere, but he actually did make his own mask, which is cool. But yeah, I don't know much beyond that. It sounds like it could be a cool idea. I'm not sure if he wants to keep doing it or not. I hope he does get back to it. I hope that maybe I can help him with if he thinks he needs more promotion. I think that's the wrong mentality though. That okay, Friday the 13th is more popular, so I'm gonna do a Friday the 13th fan film instead. At the end of the day, if you promote something well enough, it'll get eyes on it. I raised over $35,000 US for the Sawyer Massacre. And I did that with no real Indiegogo experience, okay? And it's a Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film. Now, could have I raised more if I had more experience with Indiegogo? Maybe. But I think that's still, it's something I'm certainly proud of, that I was able to do it. And it was a matter of a lot of push, and a lot of learning about what you should do. That's basically what it took. When my first Indiegogo campaign was very modest, it took in under 5,000 Canadian. I said, okay, I got to take some time and learn what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. Because obviously I was doing something right, because I wouldn't have raised anything if I didn't do some stuff right. So I took a bit of time. It's why it took me a bit of time to get to the second Indiegogo campaign. And the big thing was I needed a better trailer. Not that my first trailer was bad, but it was not quite where it needed to be. I think it was trying to show too much. I was trying to give people too much to make it feel like it was a feature film, which it is a feature film. But, I wanted to really show that in the trailer. But ultimately, there's a few things that kind of suffered in that first trailer. And I think one thing I definitely learned from that first trailer is it's about quality, not quantity. And, don't use stuff if it's not up to par. Don't feel like it has to be this long. If you have to shorten a trailer, do it. There's nothing wrong with a 30-second trailer, teaser, 45 seconds, whatever. And so when I did the second teaser, I made sure everything was quality. And that's what you have to do. pitch trailer was super important. And I think that's going to be, that's something I'll say to any of you guys doing an Indiegogo. Do a good pitch teaser trailer. Do a good one. Make sure it's up to par. Don't put no resources when you don't have any money. You have to be resourceful. If you guys want to talk really good pitch trailer, and I kind of figured this after I had my first trailer released. It's Dave McRae's Indiegogo teaser for "It's Me, Billy." They did that with what they had. It had none of their actors in it other than the picture. They didn't need sound. They just had a good camera. They had some good camera shots. A good quality camera that I think one of them I think they owned that camera. It was a C100, which is a nice camera. And they just they shot the best they could with what they had. And it worked out really, really well. In fact, to the point where I personally think that teaser trailer for "It's Me, Billy" is the best trailer they released, personally. Just because it really captured that atmosphere of Black Christmas. And I'm a massive fan of Black Christmas. It really did. So, yeah. That's all I can say. Watch a trailer like that to see how creative you can be with no money. Because that's what it takes. You got to be creative. Quality teaser for "It's Me, Billy." Yeah, it was great. It was like, okay, what do you do with no money? This is what you do. It cost them nothing. Really, it cost them nothing. Maybe they had to rent the camera. I can't remember what Dave said. He was on my show one time. I think I asked him about that. I know it was a Canon C100, which is a nice camera. I've shot on that camera myself in the past. So I mean that's something to learn from, and yeah, I definitely learned from it because unfortunately I already had my trailer like ready to go. After I saw that, and I'm like looking at Dave's trailer, I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. And you could tell it didn't cost a lot to do. So it just, like Dave's trailer probably cost a fraction of what my trailer costed to do. But, I had John Dugan's voice in it though. So that was the most expensive thing. Anyways, I hope Dave, if you are listening to this, don't abandon your Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film. I want to see it come to fruition. I'm willing to help. I'll read your script. Give me your script, and I'll give you feedback. I recently read a script, and I was not happy with the script that I read, but, there's always potential. I saw potential in that writer. I'd probably definitely see potential in you as well. I can see potential in anyone, but it's about being original though. At the same time, be original. Anyways, let's move on. There's one more final Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan film I want to chat about. This one has actually been in the works for a while. I believe it was shot well over a year ago. Like, we're talking probably summer of 2020, I'm guessing. It was shot. And they released a trailer. They released a trailer for it over a year ago. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. I've asked the director if he plans on releasing it soon. He says he's having trouble getting it completed. The editing has been really tough because, well, it was shot for no money. He doesn't have a whole team and stuff like that, So, but at the same time, you can see quality in the trailer that he released. I will say this. I'm going to show you guys the trailer because I think it's. In case you haven't seen it, this film is called Leather. Let me just see if I can find where I put it. Where did I put it? I probably didn't label it. But it's called Leather. I don't really know much about it. I do think he said it takes place kind of in its own universe, though. We'll watch it. Let me see. Is this it? No, that's not it. Or was it? Might have been it. It just did something. I think that's it. There we go. Okay, so that's Leather. That's the teaser trailer, really, for Leather. I don't. He's calling it a trailer, but it's a teaser. It's definitely a teaser. I see good potential. I have no idea what it's about. I can tell you can tell that there was some budget things, and you can tell that it was it's a good looking. It looks good. It looks like it was shot very well. But you can see that you can definitely tell where there were some budget things. One suggestion I'm going to make to this filmmaker is never do a slow-mo shot of a chainsaw but cut somebody when you know the chainsaw is not on, because that one shot you can clearly see it's not moving, and that the chain isn't moving. Slow-mo, I mean, at normal speed, you can get away with it. Even close-ups. I mean, we had to get away with it a lot on the Sawyer Massacre. And I don't know how noticeable it'll be in the Sawyer Massacre, but we'll see. We're not doing any slow-mo shots of it, though. But yeah, when you slow it down, when you do a slow-mo, you can clearly see that. Another thing is Leatherface, and this was another thing that I was noticing when we were shooting the Sawyer Massacre. Leatherface didn't look dirty enough. You got that one shot of him from behind, and the shirt looks pretty darn clean. It just doesn't look right to me. But all in all, it looks interesting. It looks interesting. CJ says he can fit. Why did I have to? Oh, you can, because the word shit is in there. I had to approve your post, CJ. Yeah, you can fix that. You can fix certain things in post. Are we talking about the chainsaw spinning? Can you fix that in post? I'm sure you can. I try not to do any of that kind of stuff. I'm going to be the first to say we got a few things in the Sawyer Massacre that, like, man, we might need to try to fix certain things in post. Some things we might not be able to fix in post. But there was a few things that are like, look what we did here. Look what we did here. Uh-oh, we got an issue here. It's going to happen when you try to shoot a feature film in 9 days. There's going to be like little issues that you notice. So hopefully you can fix that in post. Chainsaw spinning. I'll have to ask my editor if he can do that with ours, because there's definitely a few shots. But again, I think at your normal speed, it's not really that noticeable unless you're really looking for it. But when you do a slow-mo, that's where it became quite noticeable. But to me, anyways, I don't know. Did you guys notice it? But at the same time, this guy filmed it for no money, and he's been, spending the last year and a half or so in post-production trying to get it ready. And again, I know this guy can do quality. I know he can do quality. I've seen some of his other work, and you can tell by the shots and the cinematography and the way things are framed that it's, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. And maybe he didn't think to do an Indiegogo campaign or anything like that and just went ahead and did it. I don't know. I don't know a scenario. I don't know the guy. I can't even remember the guy's name, to be honest with you, because I only contacted him through All Rise Films. I think I found out somewhere what his real name is, but you know, that's the thing, though. You just easy fix, easy fix. I'm not a post guy, so I'm not an editor. Those types of things I know nothing about. I can do basic editing, basic, very basic. But I mean, it's an intriguing film. I want to see it. It's probably going to be the first one of these fan films to hit YouTube. I'm really hoping, but you know, he was talking about having it released last summer, and that didn't happen. And then it was like, oh, hopefully by the winter, and no. So it keeps getting pushed back. But I mean, hey, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of work. I hope he gets it done. I hope he gets it done soon. So who knows? Maybe it's one of those situations where, you know, he went into the editing room and there's just so many issues and he can't fix them all, and maybe he'll never release it because you know, it's just not good enough. You know, there could be a ton of audio issues in there. We don't really know. We didn't really hear any of the real, you know, audio. None of the we didn't hear any of the actual dialogue. If you don't hear any dialogue, you don't really know how good the audio is going to be. So, yeah, just things like that, right? Just things like that. I mean, the audio in our film won't be perfect either, but, you know, it'll still be pretty good. But we had a lot of wind noise and stuff like that, so, yeah. It won't be perfect. ADR is not an option. I'm just saying. I'm not, you know, not for me. Not unless I got $1 million budget. I ain't doing no ADR. Oh, yeah. You guys want to donate $1 million to our next Indiegogo so we can do ADR? I don't think we'll really need to. There'll be some windier sounds here and there probably, but enough. I mean, I think Ben got enough wild dialogue too to probably eliminate most of that. So, anyways, that's that. Anyways, what do you guys think? Are you guys interested in this stuff? Are you guys excited to see some other Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films? I definitely know I am. I'm definitely always excited to see upcoming Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films, and I always hope they're going to be good. I always hope so. You never know, though. Let me just read a little bit of what this guy said. Yeah, he said, yeah, for Leather, it's not really connected to any particular movie. It's a reimagining of sorts. It allows me to be as original as I can while still remaining true to what I love about TCM. So that's pretty much what I can expect. He's aiming to release it this summer. That was the last thing he said to me. Now, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing, and I hope he's not going to do this. We'll see. Let me get that back up. There we go. Because he wants to be as original as he can and didn't tie it to any of the other films. Well, that screenplay I read was kind of the same thing. It wasn't tied to any of the other films. His own take on Leatherface. The family had different names, all that kind of stuff. Yet it still was like beat for beat the original, you know, beat for beat the original. Like I'm talking, you got people in a van or driving to the cemetery, go to the cemetery, they pick up the hitchhiker, gas station, they go to the hitchhiker is crazy, they throw her out of the van. Gas station, same sort of stuff kind of plays out. There's a little bit of something extra. I wish he would have played. I think he should play up on this extra thing more to make it more original. Anyways, but yes, gas station, grandparents' house, then going to the store. Okay, somebody gets killed. Okay, now you know, get one by one sort of thing, getting picked off until two of them are left, and then Leatherface attacks in the fort. You know, it's dinner table scene. You know, it was beat for beat. You know, beat for beat. Sure, things play out differently. They happened in different ways, but it was still the same movie. You know, so I hope I hope his movie's different from that. That it is a different story. You know, it doesn't follow the same 5 people on a road trip going to visit grandparents' grave, blah, blah, blah. Give me something different. Give me a different story. Different story. Do that for me. Do that for me, and I will be happy. What do you guys think? And also, is there any other Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films that I don't know about that might be coming out? I would love to know. I always want to know. I'm always looking. I've been looking for good Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films for years now. Because I want them. Give them to me. Give them to me. I want some quality. I hate clicking on one on YouTube and like, oh, I haven't seen this one yet. And then it's like, anyways, I don't want to bash on people, but because, at the end of the day, it's hard to make a film, and it's especially hard for anybody that's never made a film to just try and make a film. Yeah. Somebody messaged me. Oh, that's okay. We'll just leave that. Yeah. So, I always want to try to encourage people without, saying, hey, it's, this is crap, right? I'm not just going to go say, hey, your film is crap. I will always try to be constructive. It's like, good try on this. I would keep going and try to perfect your craft a little bit and make a better one next time and that kind of thing, because there's enough people already out there on the internet that are going to tell people they're crap. But, when people ask me for their honest opinions on certain things, I try to give it as constructive as I can. I didn't want to have to read that screenplay and be like, I didn't like this. I didn't like this. And some stuff is obviously going to be subjective, but, at the end of the day, there's technical things too that it's, that you got to look at as well. Anyways, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm looking forward to seeing them and Sawyer Massacre 2. Awesome. Thank you, Jared. I'd like to see All American Massacre 2 one day. I don't know if we ever will. But again, I'm not a TCM 2 fan, so I don't really care. Steve, I would like to see a fan film of TCM, but hitchhiker point of view. Well, like, okay, would it be the same day of the original, but all from the hitchhiker's perspective? Could be interesting, but ultimately you're going to know how it plays out for him, which isn't good. But I'd be interested a little bit. Some of it is partially interesting because we know how it ends for him. So it's could be interesting. I'd almost want to see a different movie on him, but personally, I would like to go back and see a grandpa movie. If we're going to focus on different characters of the Sawyer family, I would like to see somebody trick us. Actually, I'd like to see somebody be smart enough to make a movie, and we don't know that it's Grandpa, and then by the end you find out, okay, this is Grandpa Sawyer. It was kind of like, I don't know if anybody would do that, and I probably spoiled it already right now. Anyways, Jared says, yeah, doubt we'll see All American Massacre. Even Bill Moseley didn't see it. Hopefully, when I asked him about it. Hopeful when I asked him. It didn't seem hopeful when I'm dyslexic. Reading things poorly today. Yeah. You never know. I don't really understand all the reasoning. I know that there's some rights issues and stuff like that. Release the freaking film. It was made. I don't know. It was made. There was money put into it. So release the freaking film. Damn it. Yeah. Anyways, guys, any other Texas Chainsaw Massacre fan films I should know about that I'm missing, that are probably coming out soon. Maybe, hopefully. I'm always interested. So if anybody knows of any other ones, if not, I hope that I introduce some of you guys to some projects to look forward to in the future. And they should be awesome. They should be. John from Behind the Fiend says, kind of like Tales from the Crypt, but is Grandpa telling gruesome stories? Oh, okay. I kind of see it reveals himself as Grandpa at the end. Okay. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. Kristen Spencer, did you check out You Can't Kill the Boogeyman and Scream Legacy fan films? I'm looking for TCM. Oh, yeah. I haven't yet. I have not seen You Can't Kill. In fact, I haven't even heard that one. That's interesting. That sounds like an interesting Halloween fan film. But yeah, I've heard of the Scream Legacy fan film, and I haven't seen it yet. I just haven't had time. Last fan film I think I saw was probably The Haddonfield Nightmare. Braden Timmons, and and Braden did good for what he obviously had a pretty low budget. He was doing Indiegogos as well. I don't know how much he fully raised. There are some technical issues with that movie, but ultimately he did pretty good on a low budget. There's some parts where the sound is but again, it happens. I hope that all of our sound will be better than some of the sound he had in his film, but. And it should. Again, we have some wind here and there, but for the most part, I think our sound will be pretty good because Ben was just so on the ball. He was so on the ball. He knew what the hell he was doing. Thank you, Ben. So, I mean, yeah, I think it was the last one I saw. I gotta watch more. I am gonna try to do more live streaming here, guys. In fact, I'm going live on Saturday, right before we go live with our campaign. Same time, 6 p.m. And by the way, guys, in case you guys don't know, 6 p.m. is going to be my new time for doing these shows. That's going to be, I was wrestling with it, and it just came down to, I have to do these shows at 6 p.m. with the way things are with my family and stuff right now. I gotta be done this show before 8. So, I mean, I'm way ahead of time right now, but, when I do these shows at 7, Pacific time, by the way, I'm Pacific time zone. Hey, Gayla Connolly's here. Hey, good to see you. Can't wait to see your movie. I can't wait to show it to you. But you'll see our teaser first on Sunday. What was I talking about? Yeah, 6 p.m. start time is my new start time. Just with the new baby now and all that kind of stuff that we have a 5-month-old little one, and it just makes sense. Just makes sense to do this a little bit early. I will try to do it more often. I'm going to try to be at least twice a week, and maybe even get up to 3 times a week, doing some sort of live streaming in some way, whether it be Merlo's Movie Massacre or something else, where we talk about other things, or where I have a show where I strictly talk with guests. And my next guest is Jared, the Drayton Sawyer. Jared, you want to come on my show sometime? Maybe. Or any of the wonderful filmmakers we have, CJ and Joshua, in the chat today. I'm sure I'm going to get them on my show at some point. I'm sorry for all the popping, guys. Where'd my pop filter go? I hope it's not sounding too bad on your end. I know I just peaked on that last one, though. I was like looking at the levels, and it went into the red. It's never a good thing. Never a good thing. John says, well, me, you, Rob, Jason Pitts, and Jamie Apple are going to do that. Okay, so it's Rob. Is it Rob Mahoney that's doing it? And Jamie Apple? And Jason Pitts, yeah. If it's Rob Mahoney, then I think I know all those people. Jamie Apple is a new connection, I believe. I think. But, yeah, that'll be awesome. I'm setting up a YouTube studio. Awesome. Yeah, I need a better studio. I'm doing this in my bedroom right now. We're hoping to move eventually. Yep, Rob Mahoney. That'll be fun. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to do that, John. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. I like chatting with people, with fellow nerds on films. Oh, sorry about that. She's an SFX artist. Oh, I actually didn't know that. That's pretty cool. There you go. You can never know too many SFX artists. Yeah, we went a little over budget on the SFX for my film. Didn't have a choice with the original one backing out the way she did. But that happens. And it did. It did happen. But we got her done. We got her done. Anyways, guys, yes, so tune in on Saturday. I'm gonna give you guys a little bit more info on Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific time about the upcoming trailer and the campaign, and what to expect going forward with the Sawyer Massacre, what to expect beyond the Sawyer Massacre, beyond everything. And it'll be a fun little chat. I don't think I put the link in the description, mind you. But yeah, just stay tuned. Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. We'll have a fun little chat. There is a link somewhere already for it. Set that reminder button. All that wonderful stuff. And make sure you tune in. I think it was the 15th, John? Did he put it in the chat? Probably not. I think it's the 15th that I'm going to be on Behind the Fiends with John, Rob Mahoney, Jamie Apple, and Jason Pitts. All wonderful people. Jason Pitts and I have the same cinematographer on our films, so we both worked with Charlie Brady. So it's really cool that I get to chat. I get to chat with Jason about Charlie. There you go. Yes, that'll be fun. Anyways, guys, that's enough for me, and I think that's all I really have to say. Be ready for our teaser trailer Sunday. The teaser trailer and Indiegogo drop at 10 a.m. Pacific. The early bird special I was doing on all the VIP tickets, there was 10 tickets we were giving at discounted rates. They sold out, guys. They sold out, but there will be VIP tickets to the premiere in Austin, Texas on the Indiegogo campaign. Plus, there will also be general admission type tickets for a cheaper price. Those are going for, the general admission are going for around $30, $35 US. The conversion is weird, I know, because I'm in Canadian, so just that's about the best conversion I can do. And I think the VIPs are about $55-ish. But you have to be able to go to Texas. So there you go. Austin, Texas. We gonna have a fun time in Texas, that's for sure. So you guys just be ready for that. And again, if you can't back the campaign, no worries. Share it around though as much as you can. And check out these other campaigns that are going to be coming up not long after mine. So let's all support each other and help this indie film community grow. And that's how we get awesome indie films like The Sawyer Massacre, like The Grind, like The Evil 3, Chainsaw Massacre, Requiem, and what's the third one? Oh, man. Or the fourth one, I should say. It's been a night. I'm forgetting one. And that, yeah, Leather. Leather's already filmed. But yeah, it wouldn't have been filmed without support from you. Actually, they didn't do an Indiegogo, so he should have. He probably would have had it finished now if he did Indiegogo for. I don't know. Depends on how well he does it. But you guys supporting these indie fan films are what make it happen. And yes, I know not all of them are what they appear to be, and we know about the drama. But hey. Do some research. Research who's a filmmaker and who's not. That's all I'm going to say. All right. We'll take her easy there tonight. Thank you guys all for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on Saturday. Nighty-night.